You scroll, you listen, you compare. Their winds echo louder than your thoughts. Their lives look brighter than your own reflection. And somewhere along the way, you stopped showing up for you. You've been chasing shadows, measuring your worth against illusions. You've built timelines based on strangers' highlights. You've let the noise drown out your own voice. But deep down, a part of you knows this isn't it. This constant race, this quiet ache, this hunger to be seen through someone else's eyes, it's not who you are. You weren't made to watch from the sidelines. You weren't born to shrink every time someone else shines. You're tired of feeling behind, tired of pretending you're okay with less. So here's the truth. If you want peace, if you want power, you have to pull your focus back. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now, because the life you're trying to find through them is waiting to be built within you. Stay with me. Let's rebuild what the world made you forget. Let's begin where it matters most, right here, with you. You were never meant to live in someone else's mirror, but that's what you've been doing every scroll, every glance, every silent judgment you place on yourself. Their wins feel like your losses. Their progress feels like your failure. You've been taught to measure yourself by standards that were never yours, to chase dreams that don't even belong to you, to feel small every time someone else stands tall. But here's what no one told you. Comparison is a liar. It whispers in your ear, not to help you grow, but to keep you stuck. It convinces you that you're not enough, not yet, not ever. And every time you listen, a piece of your fire goes dim, but not today, because you're waking up. You're starting to see it. The people you envy, they're just as uncertain, just as human, just as lost. No one's ahead of you. No one's behind, because this isn't a race. This is a battle for your focus, for your mind. Every moment spent wishing for someone else's life is a moment stolen from building your own. So ask yourself, how much longer will you hand your power to people who don't even know your name? How many more days will you waste waiting for the world to approve a version of you that doesn't even feel real? The clock isn't waiting. Your potential isn't sleeping. It's screaming right beneath the noise. And the longer you look outward, the longer you delay the only transformation that truly matters, the one within. You weren't built to copy. You were built to create. You weren't wired to follow someone else's blueprint. You were meant to draw your own, but somewhere along the way, you stopped trusting that. You began shrinking yourself to fit into boxes that were never yours. You began rewriting your goals to look more like theirs. You stopped asking, what do I want? And started asking, what will they approve of? That's not living. That's performing. And it's killing the fire inside you. You weren't made to blend in. You weren't born to echo. There is something in you that the world has never seen before. And the longer you try to be someone else, the more you bury it. You think you need to be more like them? No. You need to be more like you. The real you. The one you silenced to be accepted. The one you hid to be safe. They told you to stay quiet, to play small, to wait your turn. But you've waited long enough. Your turn is now. Your path is yours. And no one can walk it but you. So stop chasing their lives. Stop craving their validation. Start remembering what it feels like to breathe in your own skin again. This world doesn't need another copy. It needs your all, honest, fearless, the version of you that never asked permission to exist. You think they have it all figured out. The flawless routines, the perfect bodies, the smiles that never crack. But what you're seeing isn't the truth. It's the highlight reel. It's the polished version built to impress, not to reveal. Behind every filtered post is a battle you don't see. Behind every confident stride is a moment they almost gave up. They're not perfect. They're just louder about their victories than their wounds. But here's the trap. You compare your raw moments to their edited ones, your struggle to their shine, and it breaks you, quietly, brutally. You start believing you're the only one falling behind, that something must be wrong with you, because they make it look so easy. But nothing about growth is easy. Nothing about healing is clean. You bleed, you stumble, you question everything. That's not weakness, that's the cost of becoming real. And still, you chase their perfection like it's proof of your worth. But perfection isn't the goal. It's the mask, and you are never meant to wear it. What matters is not how flawless your life looks, but how honest you're willing to be. With yourself, with your journey. Stop worshiping the curated, start embracing the truth. Because perfection is an illusion. And your truth, that's where your power begins. Every second you spend watching them is a second you lose building you. That time you wasted overthinking their success, it could have been used chasing your own. That energy you spent doubting yourself after seeing their wins, it could have fueled a step forward, but instead you paused your life for theirs. And it's not just about time anymore. It's your confidence, your clarity, your peace, stolen by distraction, fed by algorithms, driven by a world that profits off your self-doubt. You think you're just scrolling, but you're actually surrendering bit by bit, thought by thought, dream by dream. And you feel it, that restless tension in your chest, that silent frustration that builds when you know you're meant for more. But keep handing your focus to less. It's not that you're incapable. It's that your attention has been hijacked, pulled away from purpose, chained to noise. And if you don't take it back, you'll wake up months, maybe years from now, realizing you've lived more through screens than through your own reflection. This is the moment to choose them or you, distraction or direction, watching or becoming. Because the longer you look outward, the more you starve what lives within. And what lives within you, that's where the real power is. But only if you're brave enough to focus on it. This isn't just about distraction anymore. This is about the war inside you, the battle between who you are and who you're pretending to be, between your potential and your patterns, between the life you want and the comfort that's killing it. You feel it every day when you wake up with fire but fall asleep with regret. When you talk about change but never make the move. When your dreams scream louder than your actions. And it hurts because deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know you were born for something bigger. But knowing isn't enough. Because there's another voice. The one that says, stay where it's safe. Don't risk the failure. Don't stand out. Don't try too hard. What if you don't make it? That voice is fear. And fear has one mission, to keep you small. But here's the truth. Comfort will never give you what growth can. Safety will never give you what purpose will. And fear? Fear only wins when you choose silence over struggle. This isn't just mindset. This is war. And every moment you don't fight for yourself, you give fear more ground. You give regret more power. You don't need to be perfect. You need to show up for you, for your future, for the version of you that's still waiting to be unleashed. You've doubted long enough. Now it's time to decide. Are you building your life or just surviving someone else's? You keep waiting for the right moment, for the right mood. for motivation to show up and drag you forward. But here's the truth that stings. Life isn't waiting with you. It's moving every day, with or without you. You think you're paused, but you're falling behind. While you hesitate, the clock keeps ticking. The world keeps turning. And the version of you that could have been, it's fading. You say, I'll start tomorrow. But how many tomorrows have passed you by? How many chances have you watched slip through your fingers because fear dressed itself up as logic? You're not stuck. You're scared. And fear loves pretending it's wisdom. It tells you to wait, to plan, to overthink, until one day your dreams die quietly while you're still getting ready. But you don't need perfect conditions. You need to move right now, right where you are, because the life you want won't arrive at your feet. You have to go out and build it. Messy, imperfect, relentless. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Not because time is cruel, but because your belief begins to rot, and if you lose that belief, you lose everything. This is your wake-up call. No more delays. No more excuses dressed as patience. You don't need more time. You need more courage. Start before you're ready, because your life isn't on hold. It's happening now. You're waiting for someone to notice, to see your struggle, to reach in, pull you up, and say, I've got you. But here's the truth. No one's coming. Not because people don't care, but because they're fighting their own battles. They're drowning in their own silence. And the world, it's not built to rescue the quiet. You've been hoping for a hand, a sign, a moment of magic that changes everything. But that moment is you. Every day you wait for help, you hand over your power, you give life permission to keep happening to you, instead of rising to happen through you. This world doesn't reward the victim. It responds to the one who fights anyway, who shows up even when no one's watching, who bleeds and keeps going, who falls and keeps rising. You don't need saving. You need awakening. The kind of awakening that shakes your bones, burns the lies, and reminds you you were never meant to be rescued. You were meant to be reborn. You are not powerless. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming, and becoming isn't clean. It's violent. It's painful. It's lonely, but it's yours, and it's real, and it's worth it, because the day you stop waiting is the day you start rising. And that day can be today. You keep telling yourself a story that sounds safe, comfortable, convincing. I'm not ready. Maybe later. I need to figure things out first. But you're not protecting yourself. You're paralyzing yourself. That story, it's not truth. It's fear, wearing the mask of logic. You weren't born to hesitate. You weren't built to second-guess your own fire. But somewhere along the way, you started shrinking, not because you couldn't grow, but because shrinking was easier than facing the mirror, easier than admitting you've been the one holding the key and still choosing the cage. But what if that story ended here? What if you stopped waiting for the stars to align and realize you're the one who moves them? Because the real you, the one buried under doubt, under comparison, under years of staying silent, that version is still alive, still fighting, still screaming to be seen. And every second you keep telling the same old lie, you bury that version deeper. It's not too late. You don't need permission. You just need honesty. The kind that cuts, the kind that frees, The kind that says, this is not who I am anymore. You've suffered enough pretending. Now it's time to become. Look at the clock. Every tick is a reminder. Every second that passes is one you'll never see again. And you know it. You can feel it. Time slipping through your fingers like sand. You tell yourself there's always tomorrow. Always another chance. But you've wasted too many tomorrows. Too many moments waiting for perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Life doesn't wait for your readiness. It doesn't wait for your permission. It doesn't wait for the excuses you tell yourself to feel safe. What will you do when time runs out? What will you wish you'd done differently when the days are gone and the years are nothing but echoes? You're running out of now. And the scariest part, you already know what you need to do. The answers are in you, but fear keeps convincing you to wait, to delay, to second guess. But what's waiting costing you? What will it take for you to realize that dream you keep putting off, the change you keep postponing? It's costing you everything. It's costing you growth. It's costing you freedom. It's costing you your truth. Every minute you delay is a minute that won't come back. You can't undo time. You can only decide what you do with the time you still have. So stop waiting for the right time to start. The right time is now. Now is the only time that matters. If you keep pushing it away, the regret will be far worse than the discomfort of starting. The time you have left is a gift. Treat it like one, because once it's gone, you can never get it back. It's there. Every single moment you've had it, right within you. That fire, that spark, that untapped power, you felt it, haven't you? The urge to do something bigger, to break free from the cage of your own doubt, to become more, but you've ignored it, pushed it away, convinced yourself it's not time, that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes. But here's the truth. You do. You have always had it. That power you keep waiting for, it's inside you, just waiting for you to wake up and claim it. What if you stopped running from it? What if you stopped pretending you don't have what it takes? What if you trusted that you are more than enough and that every step you take is one closer to who you're meant to be? You think it's the circumstances holding you back. You think it's the world outside of you. But the only thing that's ever been in your way is you. And until you claim that power, until you decide that you are worthy of your dreams, nothing changes. You've been standing in your own way, hoping for someone to knock the door open. But the door's been unlocked all along. You just have to walk through it. Imagine who you could become if you started trusting that power. If you began to believe that you were made for this, you weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out. But first, you have to stop pretending you're not ready. You are. You always have been. The only question is, will you choose to step into the life waiting for you, or will you keep hiding from it? Fear is a shadow. It follows you everywhere. It whispers lies, holds you hostage, and convinces you to stay small. But what if you stopped feeding it? What if you looked fear in the face and said, not today? Every time you hesitate, every time you shrink back, you're feeding that shadow. You're giving it power. You're letting it dictate your life when you should be the one holding the reins. This isn't a battle between you and the world. It's a battle between you and the fear inside you. That fear doesn't belong to you. It doesn't define you. It's just a thought that has no power unless you give it yours. And yet you keep giving it. You let fear decide who you are. You let fear decide what you're capable of. You let fear tell you when to start, when to stop. And what you can't do But here's the truth. Fear only has the power you allow it to have. And today you can decide that its grip on you is over. Because you don't need permission to be great. You don't need fear's approval to step into your greatness. It was never in charge. You were. What would happen if you let go? What would happen if you stopped hiding behind excuses? What would happen if you took that first step, even while the fear is screaming, even while your mind tells you it's not safe? Everything would change. Because fear doesn't stop you. You do. You're the one holding the keys. And right now you have the power to unlock the door. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. It won't. But you can outgrow it. You can outsmart it. You can decide it no longer has control. And once you do, once you step through that door, nothing will ever be the same again.